Are you thinking about starting a mobile salon and you're like, what are the pros? What are the cons? Can I really do it? So, in today's podcast episode, I'm going to be sharing with you, it's been officially now, it's been 3 years since I started this journey. And prior to the 3 years with having a mobile salon, I did go mobile during beauty school. I have shared that story today, but today I'm going to share it again. Just to kind of just the importance that you do not need a mobile like camper or unit or car or RV to actually go mobile. The things that have changed now, especially in California. So this pertains to California and things that I've had to do. So I really hope that you really enjoy this episode. I haven't talked about the mobile this year. So I was like, you know what? It's time to do a refresh. So with that, let's get to it. So I've been thinking about selling my mobile salon because I have a second unit. Okay, so that's still up in the air. I'm like, should I sell my mobile salon, right? Because I have another one that I want to redo as well. So with that, I was like, maybe I should do an episode on this. 3 years later, what I've learned. So I get questions all the time, and lately it's been happening more in my DMs. So you inspired this episode. So thank you for connecting with me and DMing me to be able to talk about this. So 3 years later, what have I learned? I've learned so much through owning this mobile little camper. And so I wanted to break first some of the misconceptions about it and really talk about the pros of it, the cons of it, and 3 years later, where I see this headed. So first, some of the misconceptions about having a mobile salon is that you can't wash hair, that you can't do all the services in there. So that's one of the biggest misconceptions on it, okay? Or that's going to get too lonely. So for me, as a cosmetologist, so you have to really think about yourself, how you function. I am very sensitive on energy. Like I did an episode on anxiety for myself, just kind of helping you and guiding you what anxiety looks like and how I handle it on a day-to-day, whether it's in person or live or when I do services. So having said that, for me, being in my own space with my clients is very important to have privacy. My clients like to really be in a safe space where they can open up, have real conversations, and not have other people around them listening. And I have, clients from all walks of life. So for me, it's really important to have a really private setting. So that's why for me, a mobile salon was really good. So the misconception that it can be lonely, well, for me, it's not. My clients love the privacy. The misconception that you cannot do all your services in there, it's a lie. I can do hair color, treatments, all the things under the scope of my cosmetology license in California. And I'm going to say cosmetology because California has changed it. If you can get now a hairstylist license, which is really more for hairstyling, not so much the chemical side of things. And you can look more into that at the Board of Cosmetology in California to get the exact details, okay? Because I'm not looking at it at the moment, but I am a cosmetologist. So I have to go to school extra and all this stuff. So having said that, I really can do everything. I have lighting in there, so I have my lighting set up in there. I have, connections there to do my hairstyling and blow drying and, the water heater that heats up and the container that holds all the dirty water after, I wash. What else? So it's like a normal functioning salon suite. That's how I see it. Think of a mobile salon like a mobile salon suite, okay? And having a camper is not the only way. So the only thing I did want to mention with this is misconception is that, and people are finding out, is that everybody can do it or it's super easy to do. And I wanted to say that because I know there has been mobile salons that have closed down less than a year in. I also know there's people that have huge, have converted taco trucks into like mobile salons for bridal and things like that. So people have done different kinds of things. Okay, I happen to have a camper. Other ones have the vans or the Mercedes vans. So it's just everybody does their own thing with it, which I think it's awesome. But you have to think what's best for you. So confession time. I do not like driving big vehicles. I don't. Okay, I have an SUV, and I also have like my Lexus, and I love my little Lexus because it's small. Okay, it's a little sedan, and then the SUV it's bigger. Okay, and every time I drive it, I'm like, oh gosh, I hate SUVs. And even though it's a compact SUV, it's a Highlander, I still like, it gets me nervous. Okay, so I know like driving a bigger vehicle, for me, it would kind of make me a little nervous. So that's why I decided to the route of not having a vehicle. Also, if my vehicle breaks down, how am I going to get to work, right? Because I have my Highlander, I have two SUVs. So I have because I have a mobile, I have two SUVs. So I have my Highlander, and I also have a Tahoe. So both cars can tow. So I know there's like a backup if one of them decides to like do something weird that day. But you can't do the same when you actually have your salon attached to the vehicle. The other reason why I chose like me, okay, so I just want you to think about things. This episode should really help you start thinking. The reason why I decided to do a camper as well is because the investment. It does take money. So the first time I did the remodel was $9,000, and then the second time I did it, it was $6,000. Okay, so I've already put in like $15,000 into my unit, and I want to be very honest and upfront about that because the cost has gone up. So when I remodel my next unit, it's gonna cost me, honestly, probably like more than what I have already invested in my older one, because even like finding someone who knows how to do this kind of work takes time. I do know somebody, so if you need somebody, let me know. He's here in Northern California. I actually know two people, but the thing is that everything has gone up, right, with inflation and stuff. So it's not as cheap as it used to be, okay? And they are always in high demand, not because everybody's doing a mobile salon, but because everybody does have a camper or RV or a trailer, or the Mercedes Benz became very popular during the pandemic, especially around here in California. So they're very in high demand all the time. But yeah, I have noticed that the cost has gone up. So because it takes so much money and investment to, put in the electrical and plumbing and special water heater and AC and all these other things that go into it, like lighting, the structure of it. Like we redid it, right? So we had to use wood, cost of wood have gone up. So all those things, because of that investment, I did not want to attach it to a car because cars break down. Sooner or later, the car's going to give up on me. But campers are designed to last for a long time if you care for them. Mine is a 1967. So it's 77, 87, 97, 07. So I think mine, it's a vintage camper. Okay. And let me do the math because I don't want to give you the wrong number. So we're in 2023. Mine is 1967. So my camper is 56 years old. Okay. Which is insane. So it's 56 years old. So she is older, but she's still running, right? And there was things that we had to redo the last time in regards to the roof to protect it. So yeah, so it's like it requires a little bit of maintenance, but not as much as anything else. Okay, so like this year, I'm actually gonna be washing it this month and doing a repaint job in it, and adding some details inside for color. So it's just little like retouch, like, paint. So it's nothing big, nothing crazy, but like I really love being able to have something that's going to outlast, right, a car. Because I've owned so many cars and I know how cars go. I'm like, yeah, I did not want to do that. That's my decision though. So I want you to utilize all this information. How does this benefit you? Make you think a little bit more about your decision if you decide to go with what unit, right? So let's go to the pros and cons, and then I'm going to go after how to get started with your mobile without a camper. You do not need a camper, okay? And I wanted to do this episode this way because there's such a big misconception that mobile only means having a camper or only means having a vehicle. So we're going to tap into that today. But first, let's talk about the pros and then the cons. So the pros about it is that I don't pay rent. I own it outright. It is mine, so it's like I can go ahead and alter it as I desire and as I'm able to with some limitations, right? Because it is a camper and it's structural support. I also love that it's in a private setting. It can go with me when I move. My clients love this. It's a different type of experience. It's like a salon suite experience that it's more private. It's kind of like also owning your own salon because it's just you. I know people have gotten bigger ones, but some of them decide not to move them around. For me, because of the legality and how things work here in California, I do move mine around. It's also an additional source of income, so I do charge extra to take it on location. Let's see what other pros about it is that it has really helped me save a lot of money. And I did want to tap a little bit longer into that is that because I don't have a full, huge space, I cannot waste room in it. So it has taught me to save so much money in color. I used to be the one who would buy every single new thing that was out. So now I'm so much more like toned down on like what I buy, on my tools and everything. So it has been so amazing and so awesome as a tool for me to save money on product as well because again, space is limited. I buy what I need. And it has been such a learning curve and lesson for me that I don't need everything that everybody says. What we need is so small. And sometimes we misspend and misuse so much of our money buying products and tools that we really don't need. And it just like stack up, right? So that has been awesome. And also I just think it's just really, for me, it was really a creative outlet. This was something, I had somebody ask me this question, so I'll answer it here on the podcast. What made you do it? Like, what actually made me do it? So what made me do it was I had it on my Pinterest board. So I had a Pinterest board called Dream, and I had the mobile on there, okay? And I had colors and designs and everything in there that I put together through collage. And I was like, one day I'm going to do this. I was in ICU with my little girl. She was under a year old during the pandemic, and I've told the story before, but we had our second shutdown while we were in the hospital, and I decided that was it. I was going to stop renting. I was going to shut down my salon studio if my daughter got better, and that's where I got the push to do the mobile salon. So it started really out of like an idea, and then out of a promise, and then, out of necessity, right? Because I said I wouldn't go back to rent, so what the heck did I do? So that's how I got my mobile salon. So those has been the pros, okay? There's also this big misconception that the salon did all the marketing for me. No. So that's all me, okay? So the marketing and promoting and all that stuff, that all comes from me, Celeste, the person. So I think it's so important that I emphasize that because there's this big misconception like, if I have something different, then I'm going to automatically get all the attention. It doesn't work like that. I know other businesses that have similar things to mine, and they don't get the same thing. So I think it's so important that you realize this is your business, so you need to promote it as such, right? And all that responsibility, which I know it's not fun because we already do so much in our business, and now we also have to do social media. Like, that's a lot, right? So just being honest and upfront about that. So let's talk about the cons. So the cons is that you do need to have a space to be able to work out of it and store it, right? Because you're not always going to be moving it around or working 7 days a week, right? So that's probably a con. Another con would be that it is smaller, so you can't have as much stuff. But I see that as a pro because I don't like that many things. I like to kind of keep stuff minimalist, so that worked out good. Another con, it is that you do need a vehicle to tow it, right? But I don't mind that. That's literally the reason why I bought it. Another con will probably be just going through the whole process. For me, going through state board, I think like it wasn't bad. I was just scared, right? I was like, oh my gosh, because I was literally, like they told me, because everything had changed by the time, like again, like things are changing all the time. And I think it's so important for you to know that if you want to do something, like, you should do it while you can. Because with the board, like, things are changing all the time. And things had just changed again when I got inspected. And I was one of the first to get inspected through the new program and regulations that they had. So that's what was nerve-wracking for me. Being the first, kind of like a guinea pig, is never fun, right? So that was kind of nerve-wracking for me. I didn't know what to expect, and it wasn't bad at all. Just wanted to make sure the water functioned and stuff. So that was that. What's the cons? I think the cons, and I'm just being honest, okay? Attention can be good, but I think the hardest part for me has been also people have been like very, not everybody, because there's people that have paid me to actually, be able to ask questions and things, is that people think like they like own me, or like that I owe them something and I have to give it all away for free. And I don't think people realize how much time it takes to respond to a message, to send the information. Like, all that takes a lot of work to do. So I think that has been the biggest thing. I've been having called like, bad words, and that I'm a bee, and I'm a selfish, and I'm a dumbass, and all this kind of rude stuff. People have tried to shut me down before. So that has been the hard part, I'm being honest with you. But now I really don't give a shit. Like, oh, and if you're new, I do swear sometimes. But yeah, it's part of my love language. So yes, I think that has been one of the cons at the beginning for me, because I am very energetically, I can feel things. So it was really hard for me, but I am so grateful for that experience, because it has given me really tough skin, and now I have boundaries. So I know for sure that it's so important that you have boundaries, and you understand too that if you go through this process and you're able to succeed through it, getting your license and everything, is that you don't owe anybody anything, right? Like, nobody helped me. I spent hours, like hundreds of hours, researching everything. Those 5 steps, I have a free guide for you. You can go to celestastylist.com. I have the free mobile guide, the 5-step checklist, where people might be like, oh, this is so dumb. Just those quote unquote dumb. And I'm being honest, there's people that have started and launched their own mobile salon with that guide, with that simple 5-step guide, okay? So I know how powerful it is. So if you don't see the value in it, I would go double check that because there's a lot of information there. Those are literally the 5 steps that took me months to figure out, okay? And I'm literally giving it to you in 1 page. So I just think it's so important that you give from a giving place, but you also have boundaries, right? I have to be inclusive and respectful of everybody. So for me, I'm like, no, like, I just can't do that. I have people who pay for my consultations and coaching, and you're welcome to that. You can always book me for that. It's really like accessible options for you depending on what you're looking for. But I think it's so important that I am very honest about that part of the con. The other con, let's see. It's just a different experience, so maybe your clients will like it, some won't, I don't know. But for me, my experience, my clients love it. They love the decor in it. They just love being in there. So they don't mind it. So that has been my experience with it. So, and I do, like, I think it's really important too. I guess this could be a con if you like to do everything. It's just like you really need to learn what you're specializing in, because you do have limited room, right? So I probably couldn't have I probably could do. I could have like a manicure station in there, a small one. I'm not going to. I do not know how to do nails, but I'm like, okay, if I did that and I did hair, and let's say I did facials, like, that would not work, right? Because it's too small. We need to get like a bigger one. So all those are things that you need to consider about the room and what you want. And then in California, like, we do not need to have bathrooms in them. So there's something to consider as well. So yeah, those are just some things to consider. So now let's talk about going mobile without a camper. Okay, so I did want to talk about that because there's this whole misconception that, oh my gosh, I need to have a mobile in order to be able to go mobile, or else like it's not gonna work, right? And I want to talk about that. Having a mobile salon is an investment, okay? And you need to be very conscious about that if it's truly something you want to do. And I did want to emphasize that because I've had mine for 3 years. I've known people that have sold theirs after under a year, okay? Because it just wasn't a good fit for them. I know other people that have started the process and gave up and decided to rent instead because they don't like the process of doing it. So some people just love buying them. That's why I've been thinking about selling mine and redoing the other one that I have because I have a second unit that I want to do. So I think it's really important to be upfront and honest that it is a big investment. So make sure it's the right one for you. So I want to, with that part, let's go into part 2 of you do not need a mobile, okay? Like the mobile's not going to market itself for you. You cannot use your mobile as the excuse that, oh my gosh, because I can't do the mobile, I can't, work, I can't promote, I can't start my marketing. Like that's not how it works. And I know it may sound a little harsh, but I'm doing this from a place of love because I did not allow the mobile to stop me. And this is how I started to go mobile. So now this is like pertaining to 2023. It's September 2023. So laws change. So you have to do your due diligence and do your own homework. But right now in California, you can have a mobile hairstyling permit. And what that means is that you can go to people's house to cut their hair or style their hair or do makeup, okay, with your, like for me, it would be with my cosmetology license, right? Like I can cut hair, and even your hairstylist license, you can cut hair, do makeup, and, style people's hair, but you do have a special license, okay? And I will tell you the process. I had to get fingerprinted and cleared by the FBI, which is pretty serious. I thought it was funny, but it makes sense, right? We're going to people's houses and I think it just brings extra assurance to our clients. And it allows me to go to hotels and rooms and houses. So I'm doing that legally. I'm not doing nothing illegal about that. And the process wasn't that bad. The application was $50. I think the worst part was just getting fingerprinted because I had to wait. I had to go to like a store and wait an hour for that process. But other than that, I sent in my application. It was done. And I have my personal service permit. That's what it's called, a personal service permit. You can look it up on the Board of Cosmetology. I did that because it makes me really sad to have to say this on this podcast, but I have to be honest. Not everybody's going to cheer for you, okay? So I have heard of other salons and stylists that call on state board on other hairstylists and salons because they don't have all their ducks in a row. So that's why I ended up doing it. I don't think it's necessary, but I got the option, and that just came into law this year, I believe. So was it this year or last year that came into law by the board. So I went for it. And now I have it. And now I just pay for my renewal. And that was important for me because I love to be able to have everything, my ducks in a row, and be protected as well. So that's why I decided to do that. And there's still lots of big salons and big names out there that are doing it without a license, okay? So to each their own. I'm not the person. I'm like, everybody does whatever they want. I am not here to tell you what's right or wrong. I'm just telling you why I ended up getting a personal service permit and how the process was. So I started going mobile when I was in beauty school, okay? So I want to share a little bit about that part of the story because people forget that, or they think, oh, so let's just went mobile and that was it through a camper. No, that's not true. So the first time that I saw potential of going mobile was through actually having an opportunity at this really high-end resort. They were looking for somebody to do a blow dry because I think somebody had called out, or they were just trying to find somebody ASAP to do a blow dry, and they were gonna pay well. They're like, what is your rate? And I was like, I'm a cosmetology student, right? I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know. So I'm just gonna do something crazy because I'm like, if I have to drive all the way out there and pay for my gas and come back home. Although I'm just doing a blow dry, it's going to take a lot of work. So I gave my price, and they're like, okay. So I got in, I did the blow dry, and that client gave me a $70 tip. And I was like, okay, wow, thank you. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I could do something like this. That's where the idea of going mobile really sparked. And so I continued to go there to do blow dries for a while. And of course, when it is a resort like that, like I'm being honest and helping you out here, they do want you when they want you. So what I mean by that, you need to be super available for them, or else like they will find somebody else, you know. So just be mindful of that. But it was good. Like, it really taught me that I could make money other ways, that it didn't just have to be in the salon, and there was this opportunity, right? So that's how I really started going mobile. I bought this like suitcase, brand new suitcase from Goodwill. I think it was under $20, and that was my travel case, and we called it a day. That's how I started going mobile. Then I started doing more hairstyling mobile, and I never posted about it, okay? Like, I literally just started posting weddings and photo shoots that I'm doing for hairstyling, because I have a separate page for that, for my brides and all that, and like all special event type of hairstyling. And I also work with other makeup artists, so, there's makeup that gets done as well. That's truly how I ended up going mobile. And I wanted to share that because I did that for years, okay? And especially now with California, making it so easy where I now legally can go to somebody's house and cut their hair, which I do as well, without having a mobile salon. I think it's so important that you see the possibilities and opportunities for yourself, right? And so there's that big misconception, because having a camper and going through all those hoops, I did it the first time in under 8 weeks, okay? And then the second time I did it in under 6 weeks. And I count the second time because I literally had to take everything down from that thing. Like, strip it down to its bare bones and just to like its metal shell, okay? To redo everything. So that's why I count my second remodel like the big learning remodel. So really be mindful of that. You can start going mobile, okay? You do not need to wait to have the camper to do all the things. You do not need to wait for the camper to start promoting yourself and your services. That's all going to come down to you. And I really wanted to emphasize that, because the mobile doesn't do that for me. Like, I am the one doing the photo shoots. I am the one scheduling photo shoots. I am the one putting myself out there. I'm the one promoting myself. I'm the one doing all the things behind the scenes. Everything that you see, including the freebie that I have at celestastylist.com. You can pick the mobile salon freebie, even the Pinterest freebie that I have there for businesses to start using Pinterest to grow your business. All that stuff is done by me. So I think it's so important that you realize that you do need to be like your best PR department, which is public relations, right? So your marketing department, like it's so important that you always emphasize that. And I did want to emphasize that nobody has done that for me. That has really been a lot of my work. So with that, was this episode helpful for you? Does it bring a little bit more clarity of having a mobile salon? I think it's so important about going mobile as well, that you don't need big things to do it. And it just really gives you really helpful tips on what's actually working now in 2023. And 3 years later, I can tell you this. I'm so grateful that I took the plunge, because it has been the best thing for me and for my business. It has really taught me so much more to be more efficient, work faster, and be more intentional about everything I do and put into a space. 3 years later, I'm super happy that I do not have to pay rent. Rent has really gone up around here in my area. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's over $1,000 now, most places. So I'm really happy I don't have to pay rent. I'm really happy that it's a space where I can put my own rules in there, and I own it. Like, nobody can take that from me, you know. It's really my own space, and I really just love that I've been able to really learn what I'm capable of. I think like that's the biggest thing that I would say 3 years later. It really taught me, and it may teach you whether you go mobile with this mobile or whatever type of vehicle, or whether you go mobile just with a little suitcase. It teaches you something as a business owner and as a beauty professional of your entrepreneurship and what you're able to do outside of the box. As beauty professionals, we always put in the box that we have to specialize in one area and you can only do one thing. I've said this before, I'll say it again. It's so simple to grow followers. It really is. All you have to do is post that one thing that you do. So if you're a nail tech and your whole page is all about nails, boom, there you go. You're set. You'll grow good with your following and everything, right? And you're educating all about nails and it's all about nails. You're good. That for me is boring AF. Okay, that's just me. That's why I don't have a following. So I know I gave you marketing tips, but in regards to Instagram and social like that, like you just have to just talk about that one thing. That's not me, okay? That's not authentic to who I am as a person or as a business owner. I am multifaceted beauty business owner, and I am proud of that. And having a mobile salon, the beautiful thing that it taught me is that my ideas matter, your ideas matter, and we can do hard things, and we can do things that we have no clue how to do. And we can learn new skills, and that I can be outside of the box, and that I know how to promote my business and grow my business and pivot my business when I need to. I am so grateful for my mobile salon. I'm so grateful that although I can no longer do foil highlights, I can continue to do balayage, I can continue to do hairstyling, and it's opening up doors also, for a lot of coaching other business owners locally and also working with brands. It has opened other doors for me to explore different avenues of income, including, having my own course, right? I have my Pinterest course, and I also just released my mobile salon, how to fill out your application, how to find your unit, and some other helpful tips. It's like a little mini course. It's only $27. So if you want to get access to that, go ahead and feel free to DM me. I'll put it in the show notes so you can have access to it. You can go find out what that course is about. All of this just started with a crazy idea. I really believe that you have the ideas in you because you're capable of doing them if you're able to do the hard work. So if you have an idea, try it. Before you go mobile, ask your clients. Before you go mobile, try doing a mobile service, a mobile haircut, maybe a mobile blow dry. See how you like it. See if you really like going from space to space. See if you truly like having just that one-on-one time with your clients in space and how you would feel about that. Especially after the pandemic, I've noticed here in California, home salons are big right now. Like it's normal. Clients don't care. I've asked many of my clients, and many of them go to other people's houses for other type of beauty services. It's a thing here, especially because I think rent is so high. So things have shifted and changed, but at the end of the day, you get to choose how you run your business. At the end of the day, you get to choose what works best for you, and going mobile is what works best for me and my clientele. So I welcome you to explore this. I welcome you. There's lots of other episodes on here in the podcast about the journey of having my mobile salon. But if you're looking for a guide, there's a free guide for you. Just go to celestastylist.com, scroll down, and you can click your mobile salon free 5-step checklist. People have utilized that checklist to literally launch their own mobile salons. So I know it's super helpful. Thank you so much, love. I hope this episode was super helpful for you. As always, feel free to say hi to the DMs or leave me a review letting me know this is super helpful for you. So much love. I'll see you next time. Bye, love.